So last week I was putting things into a donation box and I thought, oh my gosh, I really should have turned the camera on. Not because I think you should keep the things that I kept or donate the things that I donated. Actually, you might completely disagree with some of my decisions. For example, I donated a pair of sweatpants that looked practically brand new and kept an old ragged pair I've been wearing for years. Yes, really. And after I explain why, I think you'll see these decisions in a whole different way. Hey there, my name's Tracy Lynn, and I teach midlife women and men how to right size their homes so they fit the life they're living right now. And today, I want to show you how I decide what deserves space in my home. Because once you understand the decision process, making your own choices gets a whole lot easier. So, one of the things I love most about right size living is that it looks different for everyone, right? You can look at the same exact item and make completely different decisions. And guess what? We can both be right because what deserves space in my home may not deserve space in yours. And what you decide to keep might be something I would love to donate right now. But it's important to know that neither one of us are wrong. That's because right size living isn't about following someone else's rules. It's about creating a home for the life that you're living today. So when I'm trying to decide whether to keep something, I always come back to one simple question. Does this item deserve a place in the life I'm living today? And if the answer is obvious, great. If it isn't, then it's usually time to have a conversation with myself. And that doesn't mean I'm asking you to talk out loud to yourself because that would be weird, right? Even though I am a huge self talker. Hey, don't judge me on that. What I'm talking about is simply asking yourself a few practical questions. And to really see it work, let me show you some real decisions I've made recently and walk you through why I made them. Okay, let's get started in the kitchen. Now, when I'm working in this space, a lot of my decisions comes down to this. Does it make my life easier? And sure, that sounds like a black and white question, right? But it's not always the case. So for example, I have a scary prop, this knife, right? This knife is absolutely stained because it simply makes my life easier. It's sharp, it fits perfectly in my hand, it does the job well, and it's the one I look for inside my drawer whenever I'm prepping for dinner. This knife isn't the most expensive one that we own, and it certainly isn't the fanciest. But every single time I make dinner, this knife is the one that I reach for. And when I'm done, I can wash it in like 5 seconds. Now, what I got rid of, that was my garlic press. The whole reason I bought it was because it was supposed to make cooking easier. Instead, garlic gunk, I think I just made that word up, got jammed in those tiny little holes. And then I'd spend like 15 minutes using a toothpick to clean out each one of them. No, thank you. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, there was this mandolin that I owned. And I know some people absolutely love them, so don't get angry with me on that. But I am not one of those people. Every time I washed that thing, I felt like I was one scrub away from a trip to the emergency room. No matter how careful I was, I never trusted that thing. So yes, both of those are gone because they didn't make my life easier. Using them, yes. Cleaning them, oh, not even close. See how quickly that changes the decision? If something you own makes it more work to use or to clean, the answer might be to let it go. Okay, I'm moving this knife out of the way before I hurt myself. Now, let's talk about cleaning supplies. And okay, I may have shared this story with you before, but at one point I owned an upright vacuum, two of those handheld vacuums, and several Roombas and my stick vacuum. Guess which one stayed? My stick vacuum. All the others, well, they found new homes at my boys' houses. Here's the thing. All these vacuums made sense in my other home when life was different, right? Our house was big. We had a farm. We had a horde of boys and we had a lot of dirt. So yes, multiple vacuums back at that home in that life absolutely made sense. But now I don't need 6 tools that all do the same job because my life is different. Our home is smaller and one vacuum is all that I need. So I bet you're wondering which one I kept. Well, the stick vacuum. And here's why. It's lighter, It's easier for me to carry and it works great every single time I use it. Unlike those robot vacuums that act like cranky toddlers. And maybe the best part is I can clean it out in like 2 seconds. It works so well that I don't avoid vacuuming as much as I used to. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying I love to vacuum. I'm just saying I don't dread it anymore. And that is a win. The point is, the other vacuums weren't bad. They had simply gone from just enough to overkill. Yes, they made sense for the life that I used to live, but this stick vacuum that I kept, it matches the life I'm living today. See how quickly the decision changes? Sometimes we don't need four different ways to do one job. We just need one thing that does the job really well. Okay, now let's go back to the kitchen because I think this next decision is one a lot of empty nesters can relate to. So a few years ago, I had an Instant Pot, and yes, it was amazing. When all four of our boys were home, I used it to make stews, soups, big family meals. So it earned every inch of cabinet space it took up. But a lot has changed over the years, and the food we eat today, well, it's completely different. That means my smoothie maker now gets center stage because I use that every single day. Making fresh smoothies has become a part of my daily routine. I use it so much, it sits on the counter right next to my coffee maker. Yes, I love it that much. The Instant Pot, well, I hadn't used it for years, but there it sat, taking up cabinet space. Why? Because I kept it out of habit, even though it no longer fit our season of life. And that's something I think a lot of us forget, right? Sometimes we're still setting up our homes for routines we don't even have anymore. See how quickly that changes the decision? The goal isn't to keep what worked for us 20 years ago. The goal is to keep what works for you today. So for this next one, I'm actually going to show you. But before I do want to tell you something that's really important. One of the things that I love most about right size living is sometimes the best decision isn't always the one that looks the best, right? It's the one that fits your life the best. That's why this one might make absolutely no sense to anyone else. Okay, so these babies right here, these, yes, these are staying. And I know what you're thinking, Tracy Lynn, those things are faded. They actually have holes in them. But you know what? Oh my gosh, you guys, I absolutely love them. They're so soft. They're so comfortable and they feel perfect whenever I wear them. And every single time I see them in my drawer, I actually get excited because I get to wear them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. But these, yes. These are the ones that are going. And I realize they look a lot better than the other pair. And you're probably thinking, those are the obvious ones to keep, right? Except I hate it when I wear them. The waistband is so uncomfortable. And the elastic bands at the ankles, I swear they cut off the circulation to my feet. And every time I open the drawer, I skip right past them. So why would I be giving space to something I never wear? See how quickly that changes the decision? Sometimes the things we love don't make sense to anyone else, and they don't have to, because the goal isn't to build a home that looks right to everyone else. The goal is to build a home that feels right to you. Whew. Okay, I hope this talk gave you a different way to think about the things in your home, because I know how overwhelming it can be when you're trying to decide what to keep and what to let go of. Sometimes the answer isn't getting better at organizing. Sometimes all it takes is asking a better question that changes the decision. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit subscribe because we post a brand new video every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you know someone that has been struggling with the same kinds of decisions, would you do me a favor and share this video with them? You can send it in a text message and it takes like 3 seconds. And it really does help my channel grow. So thank you in advance. And one last thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the Right Size Living Guide. You'll find the link down in the description below. It's a great place to start if you're ready to create a home that fits the life you're living today. Okay, that's all for today. Have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.